Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today I'm joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Maddie and Nicole. Hello.
Hey.
Hi. What's our acronym?
Oh.
The DMN.
DMN.
We'll have to ideate on that.
We gotta brainstorm that.
Yeah. Mund. I don't know. Back in the day when it used to be me, Audrey, and Scott, we always said it was going to be a sad show. Scott, Audrey, David.
Yeah. We need someone,
we need an A so we can be...
We need a vowel.
An expletive, which I can't... I don't know if I can say that. Anyway.
Yeah, you can say damn. It's a damn show.
The damn show.
It's a damn show. Well, welcome to this damn show, and thank you for joining us across Xfinity platforms. Oh, maybe that'll get cut out. On today's show, let's get things started. Let's tell you about it. Nicole will tell you about the TV shows and movies you can enjoy for free right now with Up, Faith, and Family. We'll each reveal the TV or movie premiere we're most excited about this week. Maddie will explain how to enjoy the night before on Us with Xfinity Rewards. And we'll take a deep dive into the TV shows and movies that caught us by surprise in 2023. So let's get things started with some festive fun in the latest edition of Free This Week. Xfinity's Free This Week program continues with free TV shows, movies, and specials from Up, Faith, and Family, including some festive films to brighten your holiday season. And here to tell us more about all the entertainment you can enjoy through December 3rd is our very own Xfinity Movies editor, Nicole. Nicole, tell us all about it.
All right. Yes. Up, Faith, and Family will be free from now until December 10th. So take full advantage of this uplifting offer, guys. Come on. They've got a ton of great content, including some new and returning titles like We're Scrooged, Christmas on the Rocks, and Heartland hitting its 17th season. I'm especially anticipating We're Scrooged, a rom-com about two high school sweethearts who broke up, moved on, and now they are both visited by three ghosts that show them what they gave up. A family, I'm guessing, but we'll have to see. David, I know you're also a big fan of the Bill Murray movie Scrooge. What do you think? You think it's going to measure up?
I mean, there are yes, sure, why not? Let's hope it measures up. I am A Christmas Carol is one of my favorites. It is actually one of my favorite books, but also one of my favorite holiday stories. Scrooge is among my favorites. So, yeah, I'll check out another adaptation. There's no shortage of them.
And it's two instead of just the one,
It's a lot of ghosts.
The twist. Yeah.
How many, Scrooged type, movies are there? I don't even think I've seen the OG.
There's a ton.
I mean, just base
Isn't there
story.
a Muppets one?
Yeah,
there is. I have a very specific favorite, and I don't have I think it's 1938 is actually my very specific favorite adaptation of A Christmas Carol. But there's easily a dozen, 24, I think. There's so many. I'm
sure. And then some are kind of basing it off of it, like Spirited with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. They kind of touch on that whole vibe.
Oh, wow. That's a throwback. I forgot. That came out last year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Plus, every sitcom from the 80s and 90s also did a holiday episode where they spoofed A Christmas Carol. I think Urkel was or Carl Winslow was visited by three ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know if the original... Isn't it geez, this is bad on me. Isn't it a book or a story?
It's a
is
Charles
the original author, is Charles Dickens' estate receiving royalties from We're Scrooged, do you think?
I think
I hope
I think A Christmas Story is public domain now.
Probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. Same with I was surprised to learn that It's a Wonderful Life is public domain. Anyone just take it and hear it. So
how long is it?
All right.
46, David?
Yes.
Okay. So not even 100 years. Okay.
So yeah. Thanks, Nicole. I'm gonna check all that. All of those are great. I know, like specifically, just to mention, like Heartland is so wildly popular. People love Heartland. So if you are among those people, check it out and check out We're Scrooged and The Christmas Prince or whatever. All the other
rocks. Yeah,
there was one with a dog in it too. In the key art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the police dog show, right?
Mm-hmm. Gotta watch that.
Paw Patrol?
No.
Yes, Turner and Hooch. Xfinity's Free This Week program offers a new selection of free content from streaming services and premium networks every week of the year with no strings attached. Just say free or free this week into your voice remote to check it out. Next up, you've got an 8 p.m. reservation on your couch. It's time for Appointment TV. Every week, the Xfinity editors pick the TV show, movie, or special event they are most excited about right now. And this week, I'm going to kick things off with one of my favorite movies of all time. It's A Wonderful Life, which airs this Saturday, December 9th on USA. If you've somehow never seen this movie, here is a little teaser.
What is it you want, Barry? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
Sentimental hogwash. I wish I had $1 million. Hot dog! Mr. and Mrs. Martini, welcome home.
This is what I wished for.
You see, George, you really had a wonderful life.
Merry Christmas!
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right.
Released in 1946, It's a Wonderful Life is the story of George Bailey, a young man who repeatedly sacrifices his own dreams of financial success and world travel in order to help his family and community in his small hometown of Bedford Falls, New York. Following a series of unfortunate events, George contemplates killing himself on Christmas Eve until a guardian angel named Clarence gives him the chance to see what the world would have been like if he had never been born. Although It's a Wonderful Life was a box office bomb and received mixed critical reviews when it was first released, the film is now widely regarded as one of the greatest of all time and was also nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director for Frank Capra, and Best Actor for star James Stewart. The film also features one of the greatest movie villains of all time, Mr. Henry Potter, who was played by Drew Barrymore's great uncle, Lionel Barrymore. It's kind of funny that It's a Wonderful Life has gone down in history as one of the greatest holiday movies of all time, considering that more than half of the film doesn't even take place during the holiday season. It's just like summer. Even so, it's one of my favorites, one of those movies that I can quote from beginning to end, and it's a must-watch for me every December. Nicole, Maddie, you have not seen this movie, I'm sure.
You know me. I have 2 Christmas movies that I watch every year, and then sometimes I'll introduce a new one. But I was intrigued by the trailer. One part specifically, more so than anything else, the funky knee dance. For whatever reason, I assumed that was a dance that was more created in the future. I didn't realize we were doing funky knees back in the day. That was quite a move, in black and white, nonetheless. I feel like I recognize some of the lines. What was the one every time a bell rings,
an angel gets its wings?
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, that's
and I also love
one.
the It's a Wonderful Life wink title.
I know. Every time that I just see the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the screen meme, you really have had a wonderful life.
Yep.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Stewart was very tall and lanky, so the wobbly knee dance was perfect for him.
Yeah.
Nicole, have you watched this movie?
I have, yes, and I agree. It's one of the best, way before its time with the funky knee dance, apparently. But there's one thing that I don't love about it. It's when he sees his life without his family, without Mary. And it's such a tragedy back in 46 for a woman not to be married. And she's this old spinster and she's a librarian and like there's really nothing wrong with her. She just didn't marry yet. And I feel like everyone's just so devastated by it. And I was like, okay, that does not carry over well in 2023, but overall it's still a great film.
They also made her really haggard. Like the only reason she was beautiful was because she married George Bailey.
Yeah, like that's her whole life, Like what if she's happy as a librarian, Who doesn't love books?
The movie actually only won one of the Oscars that it was nominated for, and it was for special effects because the special effects designer created a new way of producing fake snow for this movie. Previously, they had used like white-colored cornflakes, and it was crunching on screen. So he created a new method of like this fake snow, and that's what he won for.
Very cool.
I just happen to know that, so I don't have all the details specifically.
It's interesting though that like I know you said it's not Christmas all the time in the movie, but like that a holiday type film could get nominated for Best Picture. I don't know if that's the case anymore.
Yeah,
I don't see Spirited getting nominated for Best Picture anytime soon.
But it was also like not well received by critics, but still got nominated for an Oscar. I mean, Frank Capra was very well respected even at the time, and in fact, like this kind of brought his reputation down a peg because they thought he had lost his touch because this film was, people didn't like it. But yeah, you're definitely like, what is it? The Santa Claus is not going to get Oscar nominated. Nicole, what are you looking forward to most this week?
All right, so I'm going for something a little different this time. I am looking forward to Leave the World Behind, hitting Netflix this Friday. This drama thriller is about a family's getaway that takes an ominous turn as two strangers show up and chaos ensues. There's just a lot happening in this movie, so let's take a peek at the trailer.
Oh, this is nice. Kids look so happy.
The Wi-Fi isn't working. Get a pad.
I'm so sorry to bother you, but this is our house.
This is your house. You want to stay here, but we're staying here.
We need to get them out of here.
I need to think everything's gonna be okay.
Everything is gonna be okay, isn't it?
We are seeing ongoing cyber attacks across the country.
Something is happening, and I don't trust them.
Everything I know, I have told you.
I don't believe you.
I would do anything to protect my family. What you do is your business.
So you've got Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali, Ethan Hawke, Kevin Bacon, all in the same film. Definitely a recipe for success, I'd say. I haven't personally read the book that it's based on, but it's giving Knock at the Cabin vibes, which I really enjoyed. So nothing but high hopes for this one. Maddie, you're a big Ethan Hawke horror fan. You think this will be as big a hit as Black Phone?
You're stealing my bit for the next segment, and I don't appreciate it. So I'm not gonna answer that question actually. But I honestly, that's the first time I've seen the trailer. And this looks like really good, really up my alley. One thing I will say, which I should not say out loud as one of the movie editors, this I think is going to be the first ever Julia Roberts movie I have ever seen. I have looked in my letterbox, which will show you like the percentage of movies you've seen from a specific actor. And I have never in my life seen a Julia Roberts film. So the first one is going to be this like chaotic sci-fi movie. Well, it looks kind of sci-fi, right? I don't know if I should call it that.
But we have some work to do, but yes, I'm glad you're starting with this one.
Yeah, it looks really good though. It's a good pick.
I can't even remember the last movie Julia Roberts was in.
Ticket to Paradise with George Clooney.
Did you watch that one, David?
Yeah, that one.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch that one either. But this looks really awesome. I am also a really big Ethan Hawke fan.
Oh, the Ethan Hawke brigade over here. Jeez, you guys.
He's I mentioned last week on What to Watch Live that excuse me, Julianne Moore was one of the kindest people I've ever interviewed. And also on that list is Ethan Hawke, was just one of the nicest, most attentive, most giving interview subjects. Like nothing was off limits. He was interesting. He had great stories. He just a great guy. So that all adds to my like general love for Ethan Hawke. I do have concerns about this because of Sam Esmail being involved, only because I felt like Mr. Robot took a pretty steep dive. And I liked it at first, but then it was not great. And also, he was also involved in, I believe, season 2 of the show Homecoming, excuse me, which had Julia Roberts, and or season 1. Either way, that wasn't great either. So cautiously optimistic.
Well, the movie.
Mahershala is I think like Mahershala he's not getting involved in something that's not good.
Right. As I'm saying, that's a big point of this. And then it's a movie, so there's nowhere to go. It's either it's good or it's not, you know? Yeah.
The worst is that Ethan Hawke's character is a Cowboys fan. I noticed that.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway. Thanks, Nicole. Maddie, what are you looking forward to this week?
So my pick for appointment TV is not in the Christmas spirit like you, David, at all, but rather I'm still kind of hanging on to these last few days of technically fall and spooky season. So I'll be tuning in to the Nightmare Before Christmas movie marathon airing on Sci-Fi. Not to be confused with the Disney children's movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is a full-blown horror marathon airing December 9th through the 10th. So some of the movies airing in this marathon include A Nightmare on Elm Street, which I watched for the very first time this past spooky season and thought it was excellent. I'd never seen it before. The Invisible Man, which I also love, Scary Movie 5, and many more, including the 3 that I have called out here. I've chose these specific titles because, number one, 7 is probably my favorite movie of all time by my favorite director of all time, David Fincher. If you have yet to see this movie and discover what the meaning behind the what's in the box memes are all about, this is a great chance to do so. I also chose Sinister because I think this is probably one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, if not the scariest. And we've talked about him at length already. Stars Nicole and David's guy, Ethan Hawke, in his greatest horror performance ever. And I know that's gonna I'm gonna get a lot of backlash from that from the 2, I guess, leads of the Black Phone like fan club.
I hate the Black Phone.
Oh right, David hates it. David hates it. That's right. I'm sorry. This is just a Nicole.
Yeah, just me.
Yes, I love this movie. It is terrifying. His character moves his family into a new home in a fictional town in Pennsylvania, and upon arrival finds mysterious film reels in the attic that contain brutal video of entire families being murdered in some of the most disturbing ways possible. And in one of the tapes Hawke's character watches contains one of the most effective jump scares, I think, in modern horror. I actually rewatched it on YouTube yesterday just to prep, and it stands up as very scary, even though I've seen it a million times. So that's going to be a rewatch for me as well. I also threw in Santa's Sleigh to bring in a little holiday spirit here. I have not seen this movie, but the trailer looks ridiculous. I probably should have had the trailer of that movie just prepped for this. It's not very scary. It's more so a comedy than anything else. I'm just going to read verbatim the synopsis so I don't mess this up. Santa Claus is actually a demon who lost a bet with an angel. So he becomes the giver of toys and happiness. So it's all just like a farce, like the Santa Claus thing. But when the bet is off, he returns to his evil ways. The trailer is wild. I checked both of your Letterboxd accounts, and it looks like neither of you have seen this movie.
Nope.
So I urge you both to check out the ridiculous trailer, and maybe we can like virtually watch along on Sci-Fi. So Yes, I'm staying spooky with the Nightmare Before Christmas movie marathon, again, happening on Sci-Fi December 9th and 10th. Nicole, I think now you can have the floor on why maybe I'm wrong about this being Ethan Hawke's greatest horror performance ever.
Don't do that.
Yeah, let me have the floor so I can talk about Black Phone. Okay. No, I mean, I know how you guys feel about Black Phone. I really enjoyed it. I mean, who else didn't? That's why they're making a sequel, right? But I just recently watched Sinister. I think Maddie and I talked about it. I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was really interesting. It's just one of those that I always forgot to watch during the Halloween season. I didn't love it as much as you did. So I will not say it's the best horror film for Ethan Hawke. Sorry.
David, back me up here.
Yeah.
You've seen Sinister, correct?
I have, and it's far better than Black Phone, and it is very, very scary. I've complained so many times about Black Phone on this show that I'm not even going to do it again. But I do want to talk about how much this Santa looks like Paul Giamatti.
Oh,
it's not. It does though.
Yeah.
I forget. You would actually know who the actor is because he's like a wrestler or something.
Is it Bill Goldberg?
I think so. I should have prepped that. I think it's something like that. Yeah. So you'd love this. Fran Drescher is also in this. Which is exciting, especially for her with all the SAG stuff.
Mhm.
And there's also a younger. Okay, Goldberg, correct. They got a great cast here. There's a young star in it whose name I don't have off the top of my head, who has appeared in a lot of things recently. It doesn't look like he's aged at all, and he's fabulous in the trailer for this movie, and in his future endeavors. And I don't know what his name is, so I shouldn't have even brought it up. But I will be watching Santa's Sleigh probably first in this marathon.
I look
For
forward
as
to
much as I love professional wrestling, a wrestler acting is more likely to drive me away from the project than draw me to it. I don't need to see Bill Goldberg as Santa, but you've intrigued me now, especially because I can't imagine what Fran Drescher. Actually, the idea that this is a curse is like kind of cool. I kind of like that plot twist.
Yeah, it seems like one of those movies that would not get made today. So if you're looking for a little blast from the past to see what they used to be able to get away with, I think this is a good one.
Amazing. Well, if you want to check out all the TV shows we just discussed and the movies, Santa's Sleigh, maybe, Sinister, not Black Phone, just say what to watch into your Xfinity voice remote right now. Next up, we've got a gift for you, and it's not socks. There's a present waiting, and it's from Xfinity Rewards. If you're looking for a movie to make your holiday season merry and bright after the kids go to bed, Xfinity Rewards has got you covered with a festive R-rated comedy you can enjoy without the whole family. And our very own Xfinity Movies editor, Maddie, is here to tell us more about it. Maddie?
Cool. Thank you, David. So starting today, you can add The Night Before to your digital movie library on us through Xfinity Rewards. As someone who, I've mentioned it earlier on the show, as someone who hasn't seen that many Christmas movies, because I'm very selective and stick to the ones that I like over and over, I have seen this and I like it quite a bit. This is a great movie to return to year over year. It's a super funny, raunchy comedy starring Seth Rogen, who's like, I think, the king of raunch, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie, as three childhood friends who spend the night of Christmas Eve in New York City looking for the holy grail of Christmas parties. I think this movie is very funny, and if you're getting a little tired of the family-friendly laughs, such as A Christmas Story or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, this R-rated movie, I think, is a good one to pulse in there to switch it up. And you can get this movie now just by being an Xfinity Rewards member. And this is actually the first of 3 movie rewards that will be running through the month of December. So make sure to check back and see what's available for you next week. So you can just say Xfinity Rewards into your voice remote to learn how to redeem The Night Before. I urge you to do so. So David and Nicole, I was wondering if you kind of prefer the tried and true family holiday comedies, or do you like the raunchier comedies like The Night Before when you're looking for laughs this time of year?
David, do you want to take this one?
You go for it.
Okay. I like a mix, you know. David and I both really enjoy Scrooged. It's a family favorite, but it's also a little raunchy sometimes. This one I really enjoyed as well, and it's funny that you mentioned that, Maddie, because there are a lot of Home Alone references in this film. Another Christmas film that I know you need to watch.
Yes.
But it's great, you know. It's got heart, it's got humor. I would definitely recommend this one.
For me, it's more of a question of like modern holiday movies and TV specials. I have a hard time letting them in to my traditional viewing playlist. So something like this has not made it into it's not canon in my Christmas holiday festivities.
I see.
But I do love. I've always liked Bad Santa. I do like Scrooged. Christmas Vacation is very much a little edgy. But I think that's pretty much it. In general, I really gravitate more towards the classics.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Like I said, I really do like this movie, and I wish they would do more stuff like this. I feel like I haven't really I haven't seen Spirited. I don't know if that counts as like a raunchy comedy around the holidays, but I feel like they are. I want Seth Rogen to quit this endeavor that he's doing, where he's like doing drama and the Fablemans. Please just get back to like the good holiday comedies, because this was like right in the middle of his. I think he had just come out with This Is the End at this time. I want to say like Sausage Party was around this time. So he was just hot and firing off fabulous comedy hits. And this is one of them, I think.
If he's not getting stoned on camera, it's not for me. Get back to that, Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
As Maddie mentioned, you can add The Night Before to your digital movie library on us December 4th through the 10th with Xfinity Rewards. Just say Xfinity Rewards into your voice remote to sign up or get more information. Next up, we've got the hidden gems of 2023 in the latest edition of What to Watch This Week. As TV and movie experts, it's our job to have our fingers on the pulse of the entertainment industry, to know what's coming, know what's worth watching, and know what's going to be a hit with you, the fans. But every once in a while, even we are surprised by a TV show or movie, a hidden gem that we never saw coming. So today we're each going to reveal the one TV show and one movie that caught us by surprise. And I'm going to kick things off. And listen, trust me when I say I wanted to pick a different show, considering I've talked about this on What to Watch Live at least once a month since April, but no TV show surprised me more this year than the Emmy-nominated Freevee reality series Jury Duty. If you're not familiar with Jury Duty, somehow, the series follows a young man named Ronald Gladden who is called to serve on a jury in a civil court case. But the trial is fake, the plaintiff is fake, the defendant is fake, the judge is fake, and the jury is fake. Everyone is an actor except for Ronald, who thinks that every ridiculous twist and turn occurring around him is 100% legit. Think of it as a serialized version of The Truman Show, with a leading man who is just as sweet and lovable as Jim Carrey's character. As I mentioned earlier, Jury Duty is nominated for, or did I mention? I didn't mention that earlier. As I've mentioned earlier in past episodes of What to Watch Live, Jury Duty is nominated for 3 Primetime Emmys, including Outstanding Comedy Series and Outstanding Supporting Actor for James Marsden, who plays an exaggerated version of himself in the series. If you haven't seen Jury Duty, what are you doing? Put this at the top of your list right now. It is so much fun.
Wait, hold on. I have a question. Is this segment surprises or hidden gems?
Both.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hidden gem.
Emmy-nominated show and a hidden gem?
Well, I mean, I don't think that everyone knows. First of all, I don't think anyone expected Freevee to have a runaway hit. I mean, respect to Freevee, but like pretty young in the streaming service game, and they come out with this big thing in the middle of April that just like took the world by storm. Like Ronald was on the Today Show. He was walking red carpets. People just fell in love with him. So I think to a certain degree it was a hidden gem that has been uncovered, but there's got to be some people out here who don't know it.
Fair enough.
Did either of you even watch it?
Yes.
Oh, of course. Yes.
We loved it. Yeah.
I'm just messing with you a little bit because I think this should win for best comedy series at the Emmys because it's so different than anything we've ever seen before. And the stakes were so high to get it right, and they did. I'm sure they blew their own expectations out of the water on this one. So I'm totally in line with you. I think this show is fabulous and is one of my favorite shows of the year.
Yeah.
Perfect.
100%.
As for the movie that caught me by surprise, it is as you see here, the Australian horror film Talk to Me, which premiered in theaters in July. The movie follows an eclectic group of teenagers who use an embalmed hand to contact and host randomly selected spirits in the afterlife. But what begins as a drunken party game soon becomes an addiction for some of the teens who take their dalliances with the deceased a little too far. As I've said many times on What to Watch Live, I'm extremely picky with horror movies, and I'm typically very pessimistic that any new films in the genre will really resonate with me, let alone like scare me. But this is one that really shocked me. It's fresh, it tells a unique story, it boasts some wildly unsettling imagery and features compelling performances from a mostly unknown cast. Talk to Me currently has a 95% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes and has earned more than 20 times its $4.5 million budget at the box office. If I haven't convinced you yet, I'll mention that this movie was distributed by A24, who I think is a studio we all love. And it's also released new horror classics like The Witch, Midsummer, and Hereditary, as well as X and Pearl and Lamb and The Killing of a Sacred Deer and It Comes at Night. So they know good horror, and this is one of them. Did either of you see this?
Yeah, 100% we did see this. I agree, 100%. It was one of those that I went in for A24 and the plot just completely, blew me away. Hated the main actor. I just not her in general, just the actor the character because I just feel like she wasn't getting it. She wasn't getting the whole premise of this hand thing, and she was just making things worse. But I think that just adds to the tension and the stressful nature of the whole film. So yeah, I completely agree with this.
Yeah, I saw this in the theater, and I had a fantastic theater experience. It was totally packed in there, which I wasn't expecting the general public to be this pumped up about kind of an indie horror, but they totally were. And this is was a weird one, right? There's some scenes in this that are very disturbing, and for us, we all watched A24 horror, so I think it doesn't faze us as much. But the way that the crowd was reacting was they were horrified.
Mm-hmm.
But I totally agree with you. This could be probably my favorite horror movie of the year. And I just appreciate what A24 is doing. They always have these original, fresh ideas for horror. And in the age of everything being a reboot, we're on the fourth installment of Halloween. We have Saw 10 out right now. It's nice when there's an original script and idea. Because I always generally tend to like those a little bit more. So I couldn't agree more with you on this one. This is a great movie.
Perfect. Well, yeah, I love that it's not a possession or a poltergeist or whatever. It's just tired of
Sinister.
A zombie. Yeah, all of that.
Okay. Hang on.
Nicole, what is the movie and the TV show that you saw as surprising hidden gems of 2023?
All right. So Maddie, don't come for me on this, okay? But I was really taken aback by Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, currently available on Netflix. It's a prequel story about a young Queen Charlotte and King George, along with a few of our favorite Bridgerton characters like Lady Danbury and Lady Violet, soon to be Mrs. Bridgerton. So, of course, everyone knows the Bridgerton series and their claim to fame, steamy romances. So I just kind of assumed this one would be just like that. Well, I definitely underestimated it because not only is it a romance, but it really just provokes interesting discussions on race, representation, mental health, And, the character, Queen Charlotte herself is just a strong force. She's basically carrying all of these things on her shoulders. So you're just kind of seeing her bear through it. But all that said, it still maintains like a sense of humor, so you don't feel completely depressed after watching it. I'm not sure, but have either of you gotten into the whole Bridgerton saga?
I loved the original
Okay.
Bridgerton. That was one of those holiday binges a couple of years ago. But I did not watch Queen Charlotte.
Okay.
What was the intent of Don't Come For Me? What's
Because,
the problem?
Because Bridgerton is not a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I have not. You know kind of how I feel about period pieces, like
Right.
royal kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So I've not seen Bridgerton, and that's actually kind of surprising because that's something that I think I would kind of cave and watch. But now Bridgerton, you were trying to explain to me the Bridgerton extended universe that now seems to exist that I get a little bit lost in. So I appreciate the mapping it out for me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can start with this one. I don't know. I would go with 1 and 2 and then this, but totally your call.
Perfect.
All right, so next up, Blackberry, an IFC film released back in May of this year, now available to rent or own on demand. It's a corporate biopic about the rise and fall of the BlackBerry smartphone, starring Jay Baruchel and Glenn Howerton. So it's definitely a comedy. I feel like we're getting all of these, corporate biopics lately. Beanie Bubble, Air, Tetris. So I just assumed this would be another drama, with shades of comedy, focusing more on the actual events. Let me tell you, I never laughed so hard at Glenn Howerton in a ball cap, yelling at everyone. He just really outdonned himself in this one, and I know Sammy would appreciate that one. And the director, Matt Johnson, he also is starring in the film. He has this strange obsession with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. David, looking at you on that one. And it's just completely unrelated to Blackberry or the plot. But his character keeps making references and looping it back into the plot line. It's ridiculous, and I just loved every minute of it. So I know I definitely had a BlackBerry Pearl in my younger days.
You still use a BlackBerry.
She does. She does.
I just need all the fans out there to know that I don't. It's a droid. But have you guys had a BlackBerry Pearl in your younger days? Or a BlackBerry?
I did have a BlackBerry. It was when the iPhone had first come out. BlackBerry released a competitive touch screen phone, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was absolute trash. And the screen itself, the whole screen clicked in to make it feel like you were clicking the screen. Yeah. It was so difficult to use, and it was so slow, and it constantly got hot when you were using it too much. It was warm on the back. Just awful. But that was my only flirtation with BlackBerry.
Yeah, I didn't have, so I was a Sprint girly growing up. So I didn't get to try any of these. I don't even know if they had a BlackBerry for Sprint. So I had all these off-brand versions of whatever the cool versions of the phone were at the time. So the Razor and the chocolate. I had the B-level version of all of those until eventually I transitioned to an iPhone like a normal human being. And it's been great ever since. Been a great relationship ever since.
Well, plot surprise, the major villain in this movie was iPhone. So,
And look where they all ended up. I'm not promoting my love for Apple products, by the way. I'm a PC computer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nicole. Maddie, bring us home with your hidden gems of 2023.
Okay. So my choices for hidden gems from this year are the miniseries The White House Plumbers and the film Sanctuary. I'll start with White House Plumbers. This show was a hilarious retelling of the events leading up to, during, and after the Watergate scandal. This show starred Justin Theroux and Woody Harrelson playing E. Howard Hunt and G. Gordon Liddy, two real people respectively, who were former CIA and FBI agents who accidentally topple the presidency that they were trying to protect. This show is quite funny and flew under the radar despite having 2 big stars in the leading roles and it airing in the Sunday slot on HBO. And we all learned about the Watergate scandal in school, and there's obviously many interpretations of it in film and media already. But I thought this was a fresh and humorous take on something that's obviously very serious from our nation's history, but was actually totally ridiculous and insane, and at times laughable. And this show did a really good job of exposing the humorous elements of it. And I was lucky enough, I got a chance to interview some of the members of the cast for an Xfinity hangout. And Justin Theroux and I laughed over the fact that he had to Google some of the scenes in the script to see if they actually happened because they just sounded so ridiculous, to mostly find out that they did, in fact, happen exactly as they reenacted in the show. So that's my TV pick. I don't know if either of you caught this. Again, like I really took the flying under the radar hidden gem thing pretty seriously because I feel like a lot of people didn't actually see this.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I did watch it and I enjoyed it, and it was mostly because of its connection with David, the creator who also wrote for Veep.
Right, yeah.
David Mandel,
I think, yeah.
Mandel, yeah. Obviously, I'm a huge Veep fan, so I knew that this was going to be sort of irreverent, and he writes really smartly about politics and that sort of stuff. So, and Justin Theroux, Woody Harrelson, I loved it. But you're right, it like kind of came and went, but it is one of the best shows of the year.
Yeah, I did not watch it. I mean, it's on my list, and Maddie, I definitely watched your hangout, which intrigued me even more. But I agree. I think it's a great cast, great writing staff. It's just one of those that slipped by, you know. But
and I think too because HBO, the Sunday HBO slot was so loaded this year. I think it premiered in between The Last of Us and then the last season of Succession, either that or like between The White Lotus and The Last of Us. So the scheduling was probably a little tough for her, but yeah, Nicole, I urge you to check it out because it's a quick watch, five episodes, I think. And then secondly, I chose the movie Sanctuary, starring 2 of my favorite indie darlings in Margaret Qualley and Christopher Abbott. I don't ever want either of them to like break it too big because they're so good in this like indie sphere. This is a super contained, sexy, psychological drama where a dominatrix played by Margaret Qualley is in essence fired by her wealthy client Hal, and the disaster that ensues immediately after he tries to pull the plug. So if you are an indie movie fan, this is a Neon title, and they always produce and acquire really mind-bending and original stories, and this is no exception. It's very similar to A24 in that regard. I have to keep my review brief as to not give too much away, but the character Hal does not realize the psychological grip that the dominatrix has on him outside of the work he has hired her to do. So getting rid of her proves extremely challenging and in some ways extremely dangerous for him. I think this title is probably going to end up in my top 10 favorites for the entire year. And I think I've seen over like 100 new releases at this point. So it's no small feat to earn a top 10 spot on my list. So that's why I chose this title as my hidden gem for 2023. Again, I don't know. I think I took the fly under the radar seriously. So I feel like not a lot of people have seen this one either, David or Nicole. If you haven't, do you have any interest?
I love this pick and I can't believe I haven't seen this because I love Christopher Abbott and have been such a fan since the first thing I saw him in was Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene with Elizabeth Olsen, which is one of my favorite indie films of the last 10 years or so. He did a movie called James White, which is another like real like deep cut that he's just excellent in. I think I mentioned earlier in the show, It Comes at Night, the A24 movie. I love that. He was, I think, in one of the seasons of The Sinner. I loved him in that. And then Black Bear, he was in that as well. Like he is awesome. And who doesn't love Margaret Qualley? So I was not even aware of this. I'm ecstatic because I'm going to go see it.
Yeah, and just watch it on Hulu because I feel like all of the great, I think, Neon stuff ends up on Hulu. I don't want to give bad info, but I think that's accurate. And it's quick. I like a tight 90, quick, short movie. Like I said, very contained. David, you're gonna really like this one.
Yes.
And Nicole, I think you would like it a lot too.
Yeah, no, I usually trust your opinion on movies, but it's not giving very December or Christmas vibes, so I may have to push it out to January, right?
All right, that fair enough. It should still be on Hulu at that point, so
right,
I'll let it slide.
I thought this was Dua Lipa in this poster.
It kind of does look like her, yeah. And I'll give you a little preview. Margaret Qualley's character rocks a couple different hairstyles and colors in this movie, so she's transforming quite a bit throughout the film.
I'm all for this.
You better watch it like tonight. I would like to receive a text from you later saying I watched this. I
say I'm going to watch a lot of stuff on this show and never do. I'm going to watch this movie almost immediately.
We'll be checking your Letterboxd. Yeah,
watch for it. Keep your eyes glued to Letterboxd. You can check out all the TV shows and movies we just discussed simply by saying what to watch into your Xfinity voice remote. And that will do it for today's show. Thank you to my fellow Xfinity editors, Nicole and Maddie, for joining me this week. Shout out to our producers, Brad, Josh, and everyone else behind the scenes who make the show tick. We couldn't do it without them. If you want to check out the TV shows, movies, or anything else we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities, just say what to watch into your voice remote, or tune in here every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. My name is David. Thank you for joining us on What to Watch Live.
See ya.
Bye.